الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Brothers and sisters, inshallah, today we'll be talking about a story regarding the life of Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba. As we all know, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba is one of the religious leaders in Senegal. He had a very interesting life and a very interesting biography, and there are a lot of lessons and a lot of teachings that we can learn from his life in regards to how he devoted his life to serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and serving the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we know also that during his life, a part of his life corresponded to when the French people colonized Senegal. So the French people, the colonizers, were one of his enemies. They did not like Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba and what he was calling for. So they tried to silence him, but they couldn't. And the only thing they had to do was to exile him. So in 1895, they exiled him to Gabon. And while he was there, he didn't have any Senegalese people who was there with him. And in one occasion, somebody promised him that he would give him a perfume, perfume, a bottle of musk. So Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba loved perfume and stuff like that, and somebody promised him that he would give him a bottle of perfume. So he was waiting for that. And at the same time, that same person promised another person that he will give that person also a bottle of musk. So when that man came to Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba, the other man that he promised that he will give him the bottle came with him. So they started to argue, but the Sheikh was just standing there and he wasn't saying anything. And they started to argue because this guy told the Sheikh that he would give him the musk, the bottle of musk. And he also told somebody else that he would give that other person that he would give him also the bottle of musk. So the guy started to argue with him because he promised him the bottle and he promised also to the Sheikh. So, and the Sheikh wasn't somebody who would expect from people gifts and stuff like that, because to him, the only thing he expects is the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He don't expect from human beings any type of gift or any type of reward. So he wasn't saying anything. Like, he didn't mind that person giving other people the other person the bottle of musk. But the fact that they were arguing over that bottle of musk, the Sheikh, thanked Allah for the fact that he did not have that that reliance to people, to the point where if somebody would break his promise, he would feel angry about it, because he feel so devoted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he don't expect from people nothing. And if you expect from people, if you always expect from people, when people don't give you, you feel some type of way about it. The fact that the Sheikh didn't feel any type of way about it, he felt like he needed to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that, for the fact that Allah has given him such a powerful spirituality to the point where he don't expect nothing from people. And when people break the promise, he don't feel any type of way about it. And also, when those people were arguing, they were arguing in Wolof. And the Sheikh has spent in his exile many years without seeing Senegalese people and hearing Wolof. So that the fact that he heard them arguing in Wolof, and the fact that they weren't even eloquent with their Wolof, because they're Senegalese, but they're not eloquent with their Wolof. That made him miss Senegal and the people of Senegal. And that also made him miss, the Senegalese people and the Wolof people. And those two things made him write a poem. So when he said, when at that point, he said he needed to write a poem to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the fact that he have made him, he have given him the power not to rely on people, and also asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring him back to Senegal, because he started to miss Senegal. And that's why he wrote and that poem doesn't have a name, but they usually call it Mimiya. And Mimiya means a poem that rhymes with meme, the letter meme in Arabic, meaning a poem that ends with, that rhymes with the letter meme. And in that poem, Cheikh Ahmadou Bamba is thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring him back to Senegal. And in that poem, he says, "Ala innani uthni ala khayri mun'imi, wa la ashtaki lil khalqi min faqdi an'ami." In the opening, he says, "Behold, I'm thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is the best of those who give blessings. And I don't complain to the people or to any of the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about anything that I might lose when it comes to, worldly things. When it comes to worldly things, anything that I might lose in this life, I don't need to complain about it. And even if I complain about it, I complain to Allah, but I don't complain to the people." And he said, فَمَنْ ظَنَّنِي فِي غُرْبَتِي ذَا تَذَلُّلِ إِلَى غَيْرِ مُعْنٍ وَاسِعٍ فَهُوَ قَدْ عُمِي. And he says, whoever think that I am somebody who is miserable with disgrace in this exile, because they took him to Gabon. And he says, whoever thinks that me being in this exile is a source of misery for me, or disgrace, or humility towards anyone except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is sufficient, the one who is boundless, فَهُوَ قَدْ عُمِي, then that person is someone who is blind, meaning that person doesn't know nothing really about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he was trying to say that just because these people, the French people, the colonizers, they captured me and they took me away from my home, somebody would think that maybe I'm in misery, maybe I'm in disgrace, maybe I'm humiliated. But no, actually, this is a source of blessing for me, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will only test those whom he loves the most. That's why he says that whoever thinks that I'm somebody who is miserable in this exile, then that person is somebody who is blinded. And he says, "Lahu ashtaki faqri, lahu ashtaki da'fi wa faqri wa ghurbati, wa arji ruju'i 'ajilan khayra mun'ami."
Bashir, dégguñu la de.
Oh,
Okay.
he says, له أشتكي ضعفي وفقري وغربتي وأرجي رجوعي عاجلا خير منعمي. He says, to Allah and to Allah only I complain about my weakness. If I'm weak, I don't complain my weakness to anyone but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And to Allah only I complain my loss. And to Allah only I complain the fact that they have driven me out from my home. And that's and he's saying that he only complains to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he has something that might bother him, or something that might cause him to be weak or to lose something. He don't complain to people. He doesn't go towards people to complain about how much he's weak or how much he lost, the things he wanted, the things he loved. But he complains only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The same way Yaqub complained only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he lost Yusuf. When he said, إِنَّمَا أَشْكُو بَثِي وَحُزْنِي إِلَى اللَّهِ وَأَعْلَمُ مِنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Because Yaqub, when he lost Yusuf, he was always crying. He was always sad until he turned blind. And his sons told him, you will not stop grieving about the loss of Yusuf until you become maybe dead. And he told them that I don't complain my loss to anyone but Allah. Everything that I've lost, the sadness that I'm feeling, I'm not complaining to anyone, none of that, unless to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I know from Allah what you might not know. And that's the secret of those people. The thing that people, they're sad about and they always complain about it. When they have that, they don't complain about it. And even if they were to complain about it, they only complain to Allah, because they know from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what a lot of people might not know. And he said, وَأَرْجُو رُجُوعِي عَاجِلًا خَيْرَ مُنْعَمِي. And I'm hoping to return to my home, خَيْرَ مُنْعَمِي, while having a lot of blessings. شكوت له عجزي فأشكى وكان لي بما فاق ذني فهو أكرم مكرمي. He says, I complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala my loss. Meaning, how does he complain to Allah his loss? By turning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and increasing his acts of worship and increasing also his devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's how you complain to Allah about your loss. When you hear complaining to Allah about your loss, it doesn't mean you tell Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why am I feeling like this? Why am I feeling like this? But no, you turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with humility and you increase your acts of worship. That's how you complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about your loss. And he says, I complain to Allah about my weakness. Fa'ashka, and he erased anything that was making me weak, anything that was making me sad. He prevented it from me. Wakadali, and he helped me, and he stood for me. Bima faqadani, with something that I have not, something far beyond my expectations, far beyond my expectation. He says that when I complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about my weakness, he stopped it. Anything that was making me weak, anything that was making me sad, he stopped it. And then he stood for me, meaning he helped me. And all of that went beyond my expectation, meaning I was expecting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me this, and he gave me even more, even better than that. فَهُوَ أَكْرَمُ مُكْرِمِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most generous of anyone who is generous. And he said, نَحَا جَانِبِي مَنْ غَرَّهُمْ كُفْرُهُمْ بِهِ فَعَنْهُمْ حَمَانِي طَارِدًا كُلَّ مُجْرِمِينَ. He says that those people who have been deceived because of their disbelief to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning he was talking about the French people who colonized them, they were not Muslims. And that's why he's saying that those who have been deceived by their disbelief to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of them disbelieving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they were deceived. So they attacked me. They came to me, meaning they attacked me. They saw that I had something that is not to their benefit. So they attacked me. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected me from them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chased away any criminal, meaning anyone who intended to do bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chased him away from me. He says, Lahu shukru minni rajiyan minhu matlabi bila kulfatin minni wa qad zala maghrami. He says, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Allah alone is my gratitude, meaning I'm thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while hoping that He would give me anything that I ask from Him. To Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone is my gratitude. And I'm hoping that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give me what I'm asking from Him with any, without any type of fatigue, meaning without any type of fatigue. وَقَدْ زَالَ مَغْرَمِي, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have always or have long before seized my loss, meaning anything that I was expecting that I might lose it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have decreed that I will not lose it. لَإِنَ غَرَّنِي مَنْ غَرَّهُ ظَنُّ حَاسِدًا فَمَا غَرَّنِي مَنْ قَادَنِي بِالتَّكَرُّمِ. And he says, if the people who are jealous of me, if those people might deceive me or might try to deceive me, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who have given me all type of blessings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself have never deceived me. Meaning those people who are attacking me, those people who are trying to, eliminate me, those people who are doing the best they can to against me, if those people are trying to deceive me, then know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has never deceived me. Meaning if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't deceive me, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be on my side and will help me until those people won't deceive me. فَمَنْ يُلْقِنِي بِالْجُحْدِ فِي الْبَحْرِ ذَاقِلًا فَقَدْ جَاءَنِي فِي الْبَحْرِ جُويٌ الْمُكَرَّمِ. And he said, anyone who throw me in the sea because he is in denial and because he has hate towards me, then I have met in the sea the generosity of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is the best. Then I have met in the sea the generosity of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's saying that if those people, the French people, the colonizers, if they throw me in the sea, meaning they drive me out from my home and they put me into exile. And he uses that word, the sea, because when he was when they were exiling him, they put him on a boat and he traveled in the sea. That's why he always says fil bahri, in the sea, in the ocean. And he's saying that whoever put me in the sea in exile, whoever put me in the sea in exile, because he is in denial, meaning he doesn't accept the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made me a religious guide, a religious spiritual leader, and all the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me has a powerful man, has a leader, and also has hate, just hate towards me, then know that even if you put me in exile, even if you throw me in the sea, I have met in the sea the generosity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the generosity of the one whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had made generous, meaning the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's trying to say that he have met and he have received while he was in exile the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and also the blessings of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And in many accounts, even Muhammad Lamin Job Dagana, who is relating the story, he says that once the Sheikh said that when he was in the sea, he have received so much blessings that even the people and the pious people before him did not receive, and that he couldn't have received it if he didn't travel, or if that did not happen to him, meaning the exile did not happen to him. If the people, the French people, did not exile him, he wouldn't have had those blessings. So the people who intended bad by exiling him, they did not know that by exiling him, he would receive so much blessings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why he's saying that those people who are in denial and who have hate towards me, when they exile him, he have met while he was in exile the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the blessings of the Prophet. And he says, وَمَنْ سَاءَهُ كَوْنِي لِمَوْلَايَ عَابِدًا وَكَوْنِي خَدِيمًا لِلشَّفِيعِ الْمُقَدَّمِ فَإِنِّي لَهُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ عَابِدُ خَدِيمٌ لِمُنْجٍ مِنْ دَوَاعِ التَّنَدُّمِ. He says that whoever is mad at the fact that I am a worshipper to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whoever is mad about that, and whoever also is mad about the fact that I am a servant of the Prophet, then know that I am certainly a worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and on earth and in the sea, meaning on the land and in the ocean. And also I am a servant of the Prophet, the one who have saved people from anything that causes regret. And he also said, وَمَنْ صَدَّ عَنِّي فَالْمَوَاهِبُ أَقْبَلَتْ مِنَ الْوَاسِعِ الْمُغْنِ الْحَفِيظِ الْمُقَدِّمِ. He says that whoever turns away from me, meaning whoever doesn't accept the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made me the way I am and turns away from me, then know that the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then know that the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was driven towards me. If you turn away from me, I don't mind you turning away from me, because the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come towards me. Even if you turn away, even if you turn away from me, that will not bother me, because as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving me his blessings and the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is coming towards me, then if you turn away from me as a person, then that would not affect me in any way, shape, or form. And he says, وَمَنْ يُلْقِنِي فِي الْبَحْرِ رَوْمًا لِغُرْبَتِي فَلِي مِنْ إِلَهِ الرَّوْضُ فِي كُلِّ عَيْلَمِ. He says that whoever throws me in the sea, meaning exile me, wishing that they would, send me away from my home, then know that while being in that exile, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me so much, given me so much things in every single land. In any land that I go, there is so much things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give me in that land. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give me blessings, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the people of that land love me, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the people of that land be in my service. Because even if you go back to his travel, it will say that in every city that he went, while the French people were exiling him, to every city that he went, people will come visit him, and people will come give him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm late. Now,
People will come visit him, and people will come give him gifts, and people will come just to be in his service because they know who he really was. And he said, لرب التجائي في حضوري وغيبتي وبالمصطفى أشكو له نعم سلمي. And he says, to Allah is my refuge. To Allah alone is my refuge. Whether I'm staying in my land or whether I'm traveling, to Allah alone is my refuge. And I complain to him by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I only complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala anything that saddens me, anything that makes me sad. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best ladder, meaning the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best person to whom we should learn how to go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to raise and go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ليس عليه صلاة الله ثم سلامه بآل له والصحب مع كل مسلم. And he sent blessings on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessing on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and also on his family and his Sahaba, his companions, and every single Muslim. And he says, إلهي على خير البرايا محمدي أدم سرمدا أزكى صلاة وسلمي. And they say, oh my Lord, he says, oh my Lord, send blessings, always send blessing, the most pure of blessings and the most pure of salutations to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of the creation. مع الآل والأصحاب ترا وردني, with also his family, upon his family also, and his companions, all of them. وردني, and bring me back. سريعا إلى توبة, fast to Tuba. وحطني, and encompass me with good. وعلمي, and teach me knowledge. And now he's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring him back to Tuba, because he started to miss Senegal. He started to miss the people of his land. And he said, إلهي علي الدهر كوني خديمه وكوني خديم الآي علم وفهمي. And he's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to teach him knowledge and to give him also understanding, while being the servant of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he says, إلهي من الوهاب أبغي تبحرا وكشفا وإلهاما فليكشف وألهمي. And he says that, oh my Lord, from you, who is the one who bestows blessings upon his servants, I am asking from you to be drowning in knowledge, meaning, because the scholars, they always say that knowledge is like a ocean. It's like ocean, and those who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given so much knowledge, we call them the people who are drowned in knowledge, the people who are drowned in knowledge. So he's saying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make me one of the people who are drowned in knowledge, in the sea of knowledge. Wakashfan, and also unveilment, meaning he's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to unveil the secrets for him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also to give him revelation, but not the revelation like the prophets, but the revelation of those who are not prophets, because there's a revelation, there's wahi and ilham, and I think we explained it once. Wahi is the revelation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives to the prophets in order to teach people, in order to guide people. But there's also ilham. It is a type of revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it's to everyone. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can talk to a person, a regular person, but that is not called revelation, but is actually called ilham. So he's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him ilham, meaning to always speak to him and to guide him into to do what is good. And he says, توجهت للفتاح أبغي فتوحه وأرجو فيوضا منه والفيض ينهمي. He says that I have directed myself towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is the opener, the one who opens everything, the one who opens the doors, the one who opens everything for his servant. And I'm seeking that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opens everything for me. Fath means when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what you're seeking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open the doors for you so you can go get that. And that's what Fath means. And in Sindidi he says, وافتح علينا كل باب كنت فاتحه لصالحين من الخيرات يا الله. And he's also asking that same thing in Sindidi. He's saying, oh Allah, open the doors for me that you used to open the doors for us, the doors of good for us, just like you used to open it for those who were pious before us. And he says that I'm seeking the blessings, meaning the flowing blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the blessings of Allah is always flowing, is always flowing, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always sending his blessings on earth. And I am asking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send also his blessings to me. And he says, رضيت عن القهار إذ راد للعدا غريبا فريدا عندهم أي مبهمي. And he says that I am pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I am pleased with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have saved me from my enemies, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have taken those my enemies and turned them and made them my servants. Because in his when he was in exile, some of the people who used to some of the people who used to guard him, meaning the guards that were assigned to watch over him, they did not hate him, but they turned back and they started to do services for him. And he also related a story of one of the people who used to guard him, and those people, they started to have love for the Sheikh and they started to do multitude services for him. So he's saying that I'm pleased with Allah because those people who were meant to be my enemies, who captured me and driven me from my home, those people, they started to do services for me. And they're doing services for me while I was a stranger in a land that nobody knows me, and while I was alone, عندهم, to them. And he says that I am pleased with Allah for doing that to me. And سأرضيه بالقرآن شكرا له به على أنعمي بالقلب والجسم والفم. Then I will make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased with me. I am pleased with Allah, and I am going to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased with me. How am I going to do it? He says بالقرآن, and I will do it with the Quran. I will do it with the Quran, meaning I will read the Quran and also apply the Quran, because you don't just read the Quran and don't apply it. I will read the Quran and apply it, and I will do it as a thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything by the Quran. And I will thank him for the blessings he have given me. And I will do all that with my heart and my body and my mouth, meaning everything in me. I will dedicate my whole self into doing that, just to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he says, علي له إدمان ما اختار لي هدى وأرضيه بالآيات إذ سرنا منغمي. He says, I'm devoted to always do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen for me as a guidance. Meaning what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made a guidance for me, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guided him to Islam, and Islam recommends people to pray, fast, and do all of that and to be good. He says that all those that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen and gave it and guided me towards it and guided me towards it, I will do all of that forever, and I will make him pleased with me by the ayat, meaning by reciting the Quran again, because all of those were my source of bounty. All of those is my source of bounty, meaning praying and doing everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have asked me to do, to pray, to fast, to read the Quran. All of those is my source of bounty. So I will do all of that forever, and I will make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pleased with me. And he says, Shukuri wa ridwani wa hamdi li nafi'in atani bi Qur'anin azimin mu'addami. He says, my gratitude, and my pleasure, and my praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who is worthy of those. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who is the one, the most beneficial, who have given us the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who revealed the Quran and gave us the Quran, the magnificent Quran. And he says, هو الكنز والنور المبين الذي به عن النار والأعداء والعار نحتم. He says that the Quran is the treasure. The Quran is the light, the clear light. And the Quran is the thing that protects us from the fire. And the Quran also is the one, is what protects us from our enemies. And the Quran is what protects us from humiliation. And he said, Kitabun azizin min azizin atabihi, azizun aminun lil azizil mutammami. He says that the Quran is a book which is mighty, Kitabun azizun, which is mighty, min azizin, from somebody who is mighty, atabihi, and the one who brought it is Aziz, he's mighty, and he's trustworthy. Lil Azizi, to the one who is also mighty, the one who is complete. Meaning he says that the Quran is a mighty book from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty. Jibril, who is a mighty angel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him mighty and trustworthy, is the one who brought it to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is a mighty messenger, who is somebody who is complete. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him complete as a human being. And he also said, Kitabun Karimin min Karimin Mukarrimin li Abdin Karimin Munqidin dha tarahumi. And he said that the Quran is also a book from somebody who is generous, either generous, a noble book from somebody who is generous and noble, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is noble and generous. Mukarrimi, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is generous, and he is the one also who make people noble and generous. Li'abdin karimin, and the Quran is a book that was given to a servant who is noble and generous. Munqidin, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the one who saved people. That rahmi, and the Prophet is the one also who had mercy. Meaning, he says the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the one who helped people because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have chosen him to be the messenger, and he was the one teaching people how to stay away from idolatry, and how to stay away from disbelief, and how to stay away in general from the hellfire. So he saved them from going to the hellfire. And he says, عليه من المولى صلاة بلا انتهاء بآل وأصحاب له حيث ينتمي. He says, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have send blessings towards the Prophet ﷺ without any with no end, without end. بِآلٍ وَأَصْحَابٍ لَهُ, and towards his family and also his companions, and whenever they may be. عليه صلاة منه ما قال شاكر ألا إنني أثني على خير منعم. And he says, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have send blessings, peace and blessings upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As long as somebody who's grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that I'm praising Allah, then may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send blessing, peace and blessings as long as that is happening. In Islam, many times when people want to say, all praise be to Allah, or may peace and blessing be upon the Prophet, they want to connect it with something that is always happening. So they want to say, for example, may all praise be to Allah as long as the sun is rising. May peace be upon. May all praise be to Allah as long as the sun is rising. Meaning, as long as the sun is rising, and that will happen for a long time, maybe forever, for a long time. Then, as long as that is happening, may praise be to Allah. And also, when they pray on, when they send blessings to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they also do that. So that's why he's saying that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send peace and blessing upon the Prophet, as long as somebody who is grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, Ala innani uthni ala khayri mun'ami. And that phrase is what he started this poem with. Ala innani uthni ala khayri mun'ami. Behold, I am thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is the best of those who give blessings. So he's trying to say that as long as people are reading this poem, which is about thanking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send peace and blessing upon the Prophet. And he said, alayhi salamu min karimin yakunu li, wa la ashtaki lil khayr ilil khalqi min faqdi an'ami. And he says, may peace be upon him from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who's the most noble and generous, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the one who helped me. And wala ashtaki lil khalqi min faqdi an'ami. And this is also the in the first lines of this poem. And I don't complain to the creation anything that I lost from what I love, the any blessing that I lost. And he also says, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send peace and blessings upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to where that peace and that blessing will save me from any harm and will protect me from the shaitan, who is the one who is cursed, and anyone who is blind, meaning anyone who doesn't have guidance, not blind physically, but blind spiritually, somebody who doesn't have guidance. And he said, alayhi salam minhu ma faza mushtakin ilayhi bima yuhda bihi khayra mun'ami. And he says, may peace and salutation be upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as long as somebody who's complaining to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will have anything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised him, and as long as anyone who turned back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the best of blessings. بآل وأصحاب رجوت من العلي دخولي غدا في سلكهم ذات تنعمي. And he says, with his family, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send peace and blessings to him and his family and his companions. And I'm hoping from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I will enter in the group, meaning the group of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his family and his companions on the day of judgment, because on the day of judgment people will be in groups. And he says, I'm hoping that I will enter in the group while having many blessings. Again, this is the end of the poem. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
ما شاء الله ما شاء الله ما شاء الله. بارك الله فيك، بارك الله فيك يا أخانا.